Hey, welcome to worshiptutorials.com. Brian and Brian here.
What's up, guys?
Today is an exciting day because Pads 5, simple pads, are available now. There's a link below, right down there.
There it is. Click on it.
And a link right here
Dare
that'll
you to
pop
click
up.
on it.
And you can check them out. You can hear Pads 5. You can hear what they sound like. You can hear just samples of all 12 keys. You can hear them in a song. So Pads 5 are available. Now, the question that you may be asking that I would just love to answer, and Fuller would love to help me answer, is why? Why should you get Pads 5? What is the deal with Pads 5? So first of all, I'm going to tell you a bit about the promotional deal that we're running right now. From August 15 to September 15, for 1 month and 1 month only, you can get Pads 5 for the promotional price of $12.99, which is marked down from the normal price of $14.99. So we're calling them simple pads for a reason.
Yeah, they're simple.
Why are they called simple pads?
If you have pads, if you're using pads right now, multiple sets of pads, you probably know why you need Pads 5.
Yeah.
If you've never used pads before and you're probably wondering, well, let me tell you, pads 1 through 4 have a big epic feel. A lot of them, you know, they're different, nuanced in each of their ways, but as we've been using them, we've kind of discovered, like all our products, we make our products out of necessity, and then once we find something that really works that we use a lot, then we make it available because we figure other people will want it. So with Pads 5, we've been in some scenarios where we've been scaling back, doing some more organic things, some more indie stuff, maybe some just a different vibe, and we've been looking for pads that took up less sonic space but still created the same kind of ambient environment. So that Pads 5 came out of that.
And so you're hearing them right now.
Yeah, you hear them now. There's less low end in the frequency spectrum. There's less low end. There's less mid range. So it really gives you the freedom to explore the songs and really change chords however you feel like, whenever you feel like, and less conflict than with some of the other pads that are more rich and full and epic sounding. So and they're really designed to kind of just glue everything together. So if you have a full band and you got guitars and keys and vocalists, but you just need something to glue it together, but not take up too much space, that's why we created Pads 5. And so Pads 5 is going to be another color in your palette, if you will, another tool in your resources to fill in that space that the other pads can't do.
If you don't know what pads are to begin with, it's real simple. I'll explain it really simply. Well, first of all, you're hearing them right now, and what you get with any of our pad sets is every key, you get a 20-minute MP3 file that you can play in any application that handles an MP3. So you can play it from like a computer in the back in your production booth. We use them inside of ProPresenter a lot. So we'll just attach the pad to the first slide of a song, hit the slide for the song, and the lyrics go up and the pad plays.
Some guys use them in Prime or an iPhone app. And just hit play.
We have a video about how to upload multi-tracks and stuff to Prime, and you can do that with pads as well. And you can use them from your phone, from the stage, or there's a lot of ways you can use them. But what they are is an MP3 file for each key. So if you're going to play a song in the key of D, for example, you play the pad file for the key of D, and you literally can play most anything in the key of D on top of that. All your chord changes, like G to D to G to B minor to A,
they all work.
It'll all just flow. You don't have to use a click track. You don't have to make sure the pad changes when you change.
And you don't even have to hear them.
Yeah.
You don't even need in-ears or anything like that.
You just let them play. And it sets like a mood that you can't really get otherwise. Right. A lot of people have said, so this replaces my keyboard player. Absolutely not. I mean, it can give you sort of the vibe of having someone on keys playing pads. Yeah. But at our rehearsal, we were playing a hymn, "Sweet Hour of Prayer." Is that a hymn? Sweet Hour of Prayer.
Yeah, it is. If that's not a hymn, I don't know what it is.
So we're doing "Sweet Hour of Prayer," and we had a keyboard player, Justin. Awesome guy.
One of our Liberty interns.
That's right. Yeah. He was on playing a Rhodes sound, electric piano.
Yeah, like a Wurlitzer.
And I was playing guitar. And it was just the two of us.
Which sound great together.
Yeah, it's like
guitar and
Rhodes.
Yeah.
And so it was just the two of us instrumentally, and we had some vocalists as well. We really wanted a stripped down feeling, and we were playing it, and it was like, it needs something.
Little something.
And so I asked our production guy, I said, hey, can we have pads in the key of D, which is the key that we're playing that song in?
Perfect.
And it was what it needed.
Suddenly changed the moment.
And it was kind of funny, because Justin was like, I feel like this needs something. I said,
I know exactly
I
what
got
it
you.
means.
I got you covered, man. And so we played it. He goes, man, that's it.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And it really does do that. It will just, it's one thing that just changes the atmosphere of the song or the vibe of the whole thing. You can use pads in all kinds of different environments. One thing you can do with them that is probably one of the most useful things is transitions.
Yeah, from one song to the next.
Yeah, so if you're in a church like many churches and you play a song and you stop, and then you play another song and then you stop.
Dead space.
And it feels awkward.
And if you're the worship leader, if you've ever tried playing guitar and talking at the same time, it's very difficult.
Yeah, so if you want to say something, so you can use pads to go between the songs, and you can actually crossfade them into different keys. So you can go from the key of D to the key of A, and just one fades out and the other fades in, kind of like this.
There you go.
I'm in the right key, but that's how you can change a key, and so you can use them for transitions. We use them at the end of a message a lot of the time. So you can like have your keyboard player come up and play keys, but if you don't want any distractions on your stage, like if your pastor's in a really, really intense, kind of intimate moment, and you don't want to hear someone walking
coming
on
out and turning and grabbing their ears
and stuff, so you just play them from a computer.
Yeah, and slowly bring them up, and then before you know it, the band comes in.
Yeah,
and,
and if you use the same key that your song is going to be in, it just flows. Your speaking pastor walks off the stage, you start, and it's all a continuous sort of a gelled moment. So pads are useful in all kinds of different scenarios in your service. And pads 5, simple pads, just another color, another flavor in your toolbox, if you will. Now, I wanted to talk just a little bit about how we design pads. So Fuller produced pads 5 and has produced several other of our pads sets. And Fuller is actually, he's a worship leader and a very talented one, very knowledgeable worship leader. Yeah. But Fuller is also a sound designer. So he's a producer. He's produced albums. He's written and produced songs. But he also produces sound design for like film scores. You've had some of your pieces featured in major television productions. And so Fuller's been doing this for a very long time. Yeah. Very knowledgeable about production.
I'm a lot older than I look.
And sound design. I think we both are.
I think so tut. What are you, 20?
Yeah, no. I'm pushing real close to 40 these days.
That's good.
Yeah. Good times. I'm almost there. And it's August 15 is like 2 days ago is my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Today is my birthday.
That's it. Happy birthday, man.
Not today, but
pads 5 for
2
you.
days ago.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll receive those as a gift.
That's right.
So Fuller is a talented sound designer. So tell us a little bit about how you approach designing a set of pads, because it's not just playing a patch on your keyboard.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of people ask.
Common misconception.
Yeah, what patch are you using? Like what software? And I say, well, there's a lot of Omnisphere. That you're using a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just one set of pads. I mean, I use probably 5 or 6 different sources of sound design type material that are high-end libraries that you're not going to have your key. It's certainly not going to be in a keyboard.
Yeah.
And if you have a keyboard player that can do all that at the same time, I'd like to meet him, because I'd like to get him to work on some projects for me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff happening. One of the things I learned when working with film and television is that you can create a piece of music that sounds great, but if it doesn't work for the scene, it's useless.
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys might record this big, fat, awesome patch that they think sounds great, but then when you start putting guitars and people talking and singing over top of it, it's now overbearing.
Yeah.
And so we've spent years actually figuring out what that formula, what that sweet spot is between enough sound, enough ambience, but also that allows a band to come in over top of it and play and do their thing and go back and forth. And so it's it takes a lot of experimentation. It's not just something you can whip up live. I mean, you can, but it's very difficult to do. And so we spend a lot of time crafting certain frequencies, making sure that every layer is working together but not conflicting with what probably will be happening during worship. And as a worship leader, I kind of know approximately where the songs are going to go and typically what would happen musically. And so all those things go into consideration, that we test them out, we try them, we tweak them. There have been several pad sets that we've made that about about 80% done, and we're like, you know what? We try it with the song. This doesn't work. Let's take this out. Let's add this.
Something clashes.
Yeah, something clashes.
You play like a 2 or a 3 chord.
And it just it feels a little weird. So so there's a lot of music theory involved. It's not just holding one note for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we really make these in a way that's very, very useful. We actually have other sound designers and people who do videos and stuff like that use our pads for that, because they were built to do that.
Thanks so much for checking out pads. We hope you love them. We'd love to hear from you. You can get them. The link below. Go get them now. Thanks. Bye.